Well, hey guys, Larry here, and it has been a while. Um, I just wanted to do a quick video here and kind of explain why I've been gone. What was my reasoning for it and everything else, but I thought I would start with the Ferry house and show you guys around and stuff and show you what's been done. Not a total terrible lot, but have done a few things. And since the last video you guys have seen, but there is plans that I'm going to be over here. I was hoping to get over here within a couple of weeks here and stuff, but now it's March 30th and we're getting snow dumped on us. Um, it just doesn't seem to want to stop this year, so we got some pretty good snow up here in the UP. But main things is like the deck or the front porch that has been painted and everything. And there's some other wood stuff that has been painted all around the windows and all that stuff. I did pour this concrete right down here. Kind of hard to see because it's covered with snow, but you can kind of see an edge around it. I got a whole concrete ledge that's done here, and the next thing is going to be to pour a concrete walkway from this down over to the front porch. But the vinyl siding is still not on, and that's going to be done. I was going to do it this last summer, and I did not get to it, guys. I've just been too busy, and this is totally sealed up and everything, but I am going to get this done here in a little bit. So I'll take you for a quick walk around and show you. So you can kind of see that I got this metal siding that's all going on, and that works so good. You guys got to remember that there is OSB, then there is tar paper, then another layer of OSB on the top, and treated plywood on the bottom. So being out with just this house wrap like this hasn't hurt anything. It is completely sealed up. But I have been over here and I've cleaned off the roof snow and did that, and it was up above the metal there and stuff, but it is all sealed up and it's all good. The roof is awesome. That has been done and everything is working great. There's not a leak. Everything is fully supported now. The only problem was back here. I did have some problem over there on that metal roof structure that I built over the top of the house to make it strong and last. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a white pipe sticking off the ceiling. That was a vent pipe that I put in for the sewer system so that it would drain better. This house had no venting for the sewer system, so all the drains in the sink and the toilet flushing and the bathtub and everything, when you drain it, in the winter time, the septic tank is out over here buried under snow, and there's like a little hole in the cap. That's all the vent there was. So I actually made a vent and put it through that roof. But what the problem was that's a big long metal roof up there, and the snow piles up there, and then it starts to warm up, sun hits it, and then it goes. And I didn't put any kind of like a snow rake type thing, a snow stop in front of that pipe, and it all came down and snapped it off. Not a problem. It actually still is working fine, because inside of that roof is the old house roof, and there's like a big gap. There's a couple feet of gap in between. So it's actually venting into that roof line and then the peak vents. So it's fine. But that's a stovepipe for the water heater, and that same thing. It all came down and kind of crushed it on one side and kind of bent it a little bit. But I do have extra pieces of pipe, and so I got to get out here and put a new piece of pipe in there, and then go and crawl up inside there and put that other vent pipe back up in there and put a coupling and glue it all together. And then I'll have to make some kind of like a V, metal kind of V thing I'm thinking about that I'll mount to the roof above that. So when the snow comes down, it hits that and not the piping and break the piping. But it pretty much clears itself. I did come out here, I want to say March, beginning of March, and did clean it. There was probably about 3 feet of snow on top of this roof, and it's held great. Nothing has cracked or nothing else, but I did come out here and clean it, and because it was nice fluffy snow, and so I figured I better do that before it starts melting and then gets heavier and everything else. We came out here and knocked it all out on. I had some people helping me, but this is what's going on with the house, and I just want to kind of show it and stuff because you know, I was really on a hard time. Back broken twice, you know. It was a hard time for me. Here, I'm gonna go inside out of the snow. So it was a pretty hard time for me, and was going through a lot. Back broken, take a year to try to recover, try to go back to work, not able to do it. In so much pain, and then started on this project to fix it, and then my back breaks again. And it was broken from the first time, but ended up back in the hospital getting surgeries, everything else, and got that done. And then it's just like I had some really nice people from this church that came out and helped me, were assisting me with some of the stuff, and then that happened to my back, and then the roof was done when I was gone, kind of as, you know, hey, we're gonna help you out, but then it was done kind of poorly and it was leaking. I came back from the hospital and actually the house was leaking where the new roof was on. And so it all had to be ripped off and everything else. And I'm just like, I put everything into this build, and then now I got to go get all these materials and redo it again. And how am I supposed to do this? Just got out of surgery. It was a low point. And John had suggested, you know what? That's what GoFundMe's for. And so I did it, and I thought, I was figuring it out, and I thought if I could get like $4,500, I think that'll make it enough to where I can just get the house sealed up there a little bit and make it through. And you guys just overwhelmingly just showed me compassion and giving, and you guys just really hit it. I mean, it was over $7,000, and it helped. I had to still pay a bunch out of my own pocket and everything else. I wasn't expecting, everybody to pay for everything for me, and I felt funny about doing that, but so everybody needs help once in a while. But we did that, and you guys really jumped out there and really amazed me and showed me the compassion, and it was so much appreciated. And then I got the thing all kind of sealed up and livable and stuff, and then some things changed in my life, and I'm going to talk more about that when I get home and out of the cold and stuff like that. I don't know if I said it or not, but I don't live here anymore. There's actually somebody that lives here that I know that real well, and she has a little bit of hard time walking up and down stairs, and she's 74, and I was like, I got the perfect place. It's all one floor and everything, and she came over and she was like, oh my goodness, this is awesome here and stuff. And so she's here now, but she is going to be going to a different place, and that is coming up real future here in just a little while. So we're going to be finishing this, and then I'm going to make a decision what I'm going to do with the Ferry house. But I just wanted to show you guys, when the donations are all stuff going on, I told you guys that you guys are going to be you're forever part of this house. And I told you guys I was going to write all the names on the wall. So I wrote everybody's names on the wall here, and I didn't write full names. I didn't want to do that, putting people's full names on the internet and stuff. But I put everybody's first name and then the initial and stuff. And it says, thanks to the patronage of the following. And I listed everybody's names. And then there was a lot of anonymous donors too. And then on the bottom, I put on there into the anonymous donators. And then all the people who have supported me over the years and watching videos. There was a lot of people that were like, oh, I just can't do it. I can't donate right now, but I really want. I was like, it's totally fine. I understand. Don't concern yourself with it. It's good. And but you guys have always supported me and followed me over the years. And so I think I'm going to head to a warmer place, and we'll continue on with the discussion, and I'll fill you guys in why I've kind of really been gone. Okay? Let's do that. See you there. Well, hey guys, I'm in a warmer place, and I can have that discussion now. Try to go through this. I don't know what it'll sound like and stuff, but trying to go through all the thoughts in my head and everything. Probably should have put some kind of thing together or something, but why did I stop making videos on YouTube? Well, the main reason why was because I was going through some stuff inside. I was looking at myself and trying to evaluate things and trying to look into my soul and what was right and what was wrong. And that is to do with Christianity. I have always believed that there's God, but I kind of felt I was doing it wrong. And in the way that I'm thinking is that the term it would be to say I was a soft Christian. I believed there was a God, but I did believe, or not that I believe, but I was living that there's something wrong in my life. There's something bad that's happening, oh God, and I'm praying. But then when there's something good or something that's happening, I wasn't giving that time to God. And I've needed to go through and do an evaluation, because if things are not correct in here, I'm going to put things out that are not correct and things that are evil. Not evil, but things that are, I don't want to turn, it's just not a good way to be. How can I help anybody? How can I be of good to this world when I'm not right inside, is what I'm trying to say. And, you know, you guys had known from the past and stuff that I was with this woman, Tracy, and she is an awesome individual. And she is great. And I got nothing ever to say bad about her. She is awesome. And we were at a point that we were looking at going, what are we doing? Where are we moving forward and stuff? And I had to do a big self-evaluation of that. And I didn't see it moving forward. And she is awesome. There's nothing wrong. She's a great woman. But I just didn't feel that it was going to be the right thing for us. And I felt that instead of just going through the motions, I needed to say, rip the Band-Aid off and just be done, because I didn't want to continue to keep going and then hurt her more. And so we did that, and I was kind of like, I'm done. Then I was looking at myself and doing this evaluation and everything else and trying to figure out me better. And I met an amazing, smart, beautiful woman. And we got to know each other, and we started a relationship. And it has grown and grown from there, and it is beautiful. And that was going on, and kind of the house bill was going on, and you guys saw that there was the steel being put on, and then it kind of stopped. And there was reasons for that. I was going through it myself and everything, trying to figure this out at the same time. And I was kind of overwhelming. How do I do this while I'm trying to work on myself and project myself out on social media? It was a trying time that I was going through, and things that I was working on, inner conflict. And I felt like I needed to really work on myself first. Another things that then evil things started to come at me. And one of the things was my YouTube account. I mean, I never have gotten rich off of this stuff. I don't. Most of the time, I'm spending way much more money than what I even come close to even getting from. It's not hardly been anything. But that little bit, somebody went in and attacked that. And somehow they routed the payment thing to them. And it was, by the time I figured it out, figure what was going on, it was like, if you want to try to contact and get in contact with Google AdSense and YouTube and everything, it's not fun. And I have gotten it all straightened out and everything else. There's hardly nothing that comes through there or anything anymore, but I did get all that straightened out. So somebody hacked my YouTube things and doing that. And then a lot of videos that I've made in the past, they've been attacked. I have royalty-free music that has been put onto them, and it's just like one after another after another after another. These things, they're attacking and taking that money, and it's like, that was royalty-free music. But it's somebody out there that's claiming that, but they don't even own the music. And trying to justify that stuff with YouTube is really hard to do. It is a big thing, and there's nobody you can like call on the phone or have a conversation with about this. So it's very, very difficult. And fighting all that stuff, and you see that stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, whatever, Larry, that's, little stuff and everything. And it was. But then what started happening, and this was going on when the house bill is going on, I was starting this relationship with this beautiful woman. And we were growing, and she is a very godly woman, and she was helping me in my journey and everything. And walking through that. And then somebody from my long ago past started to come at me and trying to get a needle into me. And I don't know, I think this person was very unhappy with their life and trying to make my life unhappy. And I ignored it and just blocked it and did another different email, and it was all different kinds of things coming through. And then there would get things that were just so nice and everything else. Then I would get things that were just nastiness and pornography and just like nasty stuff. And it was just, and I just kept blocking and blocking and blocking. And then finally I did respond to one. I said, listen, I am walking with God. And all that I can say is that I hope that you can go down and find somebody and start that journey yourself, because you need it. But please leave me alone. And I just kept blocking stuff and it all stopped. Pretty much so. And then it was really crazy. It was like somebody was fighting against us, because somebody from her past, from 20 some years ago, started at her and all this stuff, and then found me through the searching, through this YouTube and everything, and put it together, and then started coming at me. I mean, this guy was even crazy. He offered me $50,000 just to stop dating her. Thought that somehow then he's going to be able to magically work into her life. And it was just so crazy. And I was just like, go away. And it was just all this nastiness. And then somehow he found the person from my past, and then they teamed up, and then it got really nasty. And everybody was being attacked and everything. We were just blocking stuff and everything else. And it was getting really crazy. And it was like somebody was really fighting to try to keep us apart. And something. And we have been going through this, and things have slowed down. Things are better. But I was like, not wanting to put something out there that gives an easier access into our lives. And that's social media. And so I really kind of decided I needed to work on myself, and I needed also to protect us. And so that's why, the main reason why I stopped. And it's crazy because I've also been attacked with a scam too. And nothing like I clicked on something, or my grandchild or something was thrown in jail, you need to send me $5,000 or something like this. I got actually, my information was attacked and everything else. And somebody was using that against me to do things and take out loans and all this other stuff. And so all this stuff was just going on. And I mean, even the GoFundMe thing that helped to get the roof on that house and everything, that helped to secure that was attacked too. And somebody had donated to it, and then they turned around and filed a dispute against it. And I was like, if they're not happy, I had come, emails back and forth to go, and they're talking about this, and they froze everything. And I'm like, if they're not happy with it, with the donation, then send it back. I don't have a problem with this. Well, they actually went into my account and took a lot more money than what was donated, and took it out of my account and everything else. It was a big mess. And I was just, I don't care. I just wanted it to be over. So there was a lot of things. And I know some people, people will say, well, I get, everybody gets all these crazy emails, spam emails and stuff. When you put your information out there like this on the social media, you get a lot. I mean, it's unbelievable how much stuff, and the nastiest stuff and the evilest stuff. And the thing is the last like 2-3 years, this world has really gone really, really crazy. There was some stuff that is just like, what are people thinking? And everybody seems like they're trying to get something for nothing and all this other stuff. And it's done a lot of soul searching on my part and hers on the future. And we have put some things into place that secures us. And we have committed to ourselves, to each other, and we are secure. Will evil still attack us? Of course. Evil attacks everybody every day, trying to find that way in to get us into the wrong direction, to take what has been godly given to us. It is a non-stop battle. Every single second, every minute of the day, it is an ongoing situation. But we are strong and we are good, and we feel really good about it. So we've had discussions, and I have actually had discussions. Should we do the videos? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's been something that's been going on back and forth and stuff. And John is constantly been contacting me and saying, oh man, people are driving me nuts. Wonder what's going on. Why you're not making videos? And I understand that. I mean, I used to watch a YouTube channel, and it was really good little family, and they made this cabin out in the woods and stuff and doing everything. And it was the most wholesome channel. And then one day they just stopped. And it was like, when's the next one coming? When's the next one coming? And everything else. I do understand the aspect of people asking questions and everything, and everybody has that right to ask questions. And so I had to look at it and go, finally I said, something might have happened where I don't know what's going on. Maybe they feel that they need to do something to get better with themselves or to look interior or whatever. And so I do understand it completely. And so we've looked at it and said, should we do this? And I've talked to John a few times and been like, yeah, I'm going to come back do it. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. And we've had some really good heart-to-heart conversations and sat down. And we have decided that I've gotten some emails, kind of break there. I've gotten some emails in just the last few weeks from people that have watched some past videos. And they'll be like, hey, I just watched this video, and the title of it, I'm doing this tomorrow, or I'm working on this right now, and I have a couple other questions and stuff. And I've gotten back to them, and I've kind of went, that was nice. That's what it's supposed to be about. And I have been told that I'm kind of a little teacher aspect in me. Never did great in school myself, but I kind of can just figure out things, and then I do things, and then I could show other people how to do them. And so and sharing that on YouTube, it's kind of what it's about. It's about a collaboration of people putting thoughts together that can benefit everybody. And we've talked the last couple of weeks, and we were like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. And so I'm putting this out there, and those are the reasons why. One, I needed to look at myself. Number two, we were being attacked like crazy, financially and by spiritually. And number three, our relationship was being attacked. And I kind of went, I don't know. But now looking at things, and we have put some things in place that secures things, that helps protect us. And we feel that we can move on forward. Will evil still attack us? Yeah, it will. But we're strong enough that we can hold off all that and everything and move on with the good that is out there in the world, because that's what it's about. I look at like 1 Corinthians. I'm trying to think of the verse at the moment. It's 1 Corinthians 10. I think it's like 30, 32, something like that. It talks about that you should love your neighbor more than you actually love yourself. And it's kind of what the world needs to get into. It's just, stop with all the craziness and just love each other, and build something for the future. So that's where I'm going into the future with, and everything else. And I can tell you that we have some super, super exciting things that are coming about. And I think it would make some excellent content. I think that people would be very interested in it. I think people will benefit from it. It's going to be completely new stuff. And then there's also an aspect that will be happening where it's also going to be some older stuff, where Larry, out working on some old machinery and doing some projects and stuff like that, is also going to be entailed into it too. And so that's where some of that's going to come into place. So I think it's going to be some new crazy stuff that I think people are really going to enjoy, but it's also going to be a bit of the old Larry too, with working on equipment and everything else and doing that kind of stuff. So I hope that you guys would like to come along for the journey and check it out. And I'm going to put together a video that is going to be pretty lengthy. I've been working on it and editing and stuff. That's what's going on behind me. And it's becoming a pretty long video, but you know, it kind of puts everything into perspective of what's going on in the future. So I hope that you guys want to check it out and see if this is maybe something you want to be part of. I will say that we will be putting out a video like a once a week type thing. That's what my goal is, to shoot for that, for like a once a week type video. And see if we can stay consistent with that. And I think that it will work really well and we can have a great time doing it. So join us if you like. There'll be a video coming out soon that will highlight all those areas and everything else. And if you're interested, check it out with us. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they watch this here video. And if you're not, you can certainly try that all over again tomorrow. God bless you guys, and I will catch you later. Bye.